Good morning, everybody. This is our astrology weather forecast for the 2nd of November, 2025. And we do have the moon coming into Aries at 10:52 a.m. Eastern Time. Ooh, I have to check that. Alrighty, it's between somewhere between 10 and 11 a.m. Eastern Time. We have a bit of a breakup when it comes to the moon changing signs. Sometimes that happens. It's more comfortable when it happens at night because we have that smooth transition from mood to mood. But sometimes we get a day where we can have different mornings from afternoons and evenings. So things speed up in terms of how we move on from things, how fast we metabolize our world happens pretty quickly with anything in Aries. The moon in Aries is not a force where we tend to linger in introspection for very long. So it helps us to get up and at 'em. That's helpful because, shh, girls, please. Shh, shh, shh. Sorry, guys, it's my girls. Joe, your packages are on my porch. Shh, you know who it is. So it's a day where we are being annoyed. Hold on. Stop it. You're supposed to reserve that for times I'm not live. It's a day when we are having the undercurrent of wanting to move on, but the sun in a sesquiquadrate to Saturn is a bit sticky. This is where we can question ourselves. And we can get hung up on what ifs, guilt, looking at everything that could go wrong instead of what could go right. Thankfully, we have another boisterous aspect in the air, which helps to balance this, along with the Aries moon. So, square from Venus to Jupiter. This helps to enlarge in our heart, our appetite, whatever it is that brings us pleasure. We tend to want to indulge in culture, entertainment, food, friends, frivolity. It is a hedonistic aspect. And we do have the racy undercurrent of the moon, so it is helpful to help us to consider some things with the sun in a sesquiquadrate, hard aspect to Saturn, but not to get so hung up on the negatives that we don't move or we don't take action or we don't express or we don't grow. It's a pretty good balance here between growth and measure. So we get measured growth rather than something where we grow off a cliff and we're like, I don't know how that happened. And well, it's sometimes harder to understand where we went wrong when we're dealing with too much of a good thing or obstinate, sorry, optimism, or sometimes we get a Dunning-Kruger effect. We get a lack of insight into how our assumption that we are the smartest one in the room or the greatest at this or that or the most talented, how that may not be true. And we can be operating on that and not understand how we're seen or the actual limits that we're dealing with. So the good news is you don't know when you're lacking self-awareness. You don't know that you're self-unaware. Um, so it helps to look around and notice what's going on, read the room, look at reactions to us, and don't just dismiss those as other people being wrong. Look at it as, is there anything for me to learn here? So I can refine my approach and, well, not be so much of a bumbling, stupid dumbass.